I left the city, I've been browsing. Treading water that they drowning. I head on the swivel, yeah. It's only really my surroundings. They keep it all the way 1,000.
Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. We are back again with another video, and guys, just a few minutes ago, I just got done with Superman and Lois, episode 14, called The Eradicator. This was another phenomenal episode from Superman and Lois. I just love this show so much. We were on break for a little bit again, the long breaks that we go on before we get back to the show. I forget what kind of break this was, but we were just on break again. And, going back, I thought it was last week, and I remember, thinking I was about to run late to watch it, but actually it was just a repeat, and it was just, a sigh of relief. But going back into this, going back into what we know from the last episode and going into this episode, in the last episode we see, I always forget his name. It's like, I don't know why I'm forgetting his name. It's, I forget what it is. Tao. So going in from last episode, when we see Tao when he's absorbing the sun, and we know he absorbed the Eradicator, and we know he has the Kryptonian souls in him, and we also know that his dad's within him. This episode, if anything, confirms that his dad was in him, and pretty much the whole plan of his plan is to pretty much do the plan that is essentially how it was on John Henry Irons' Earth, with everybody attacking Metropolis, but of a place that they knew that Kal-El loved. So pretty much they're attacking Metropolis, and he's putting the Kryptonian souls back into different people, and pretty much John Henry Irons and Clark are pretty much trying to stop them. Or Superman are trying to stop them from doing stuff in Metropolis. But before all that happens, going into the beginning of this episode is we see Lois and Clark, and they're pretty much talking about how a whole bunch of businesses are going out of business, and Smallville, due to the fact of the destruction and pretty much the downfall of Smallville, due to the fact of I always forget his name. Why am I blanking on this dude's name every time? Oh, Morgan Edge. So, due to the fact of Morgan Edge, on how he pretty much came in there, had an agenda, was never Morgan Edge, he was actually Tao, and he had an agenda of, pretty much, taking down, Earth and making it into Krypton. So pretty much, going into this, into this episode, seeing the fact that we see a little bit more of Clark's, Smallville side coming into gear, and, Lois pretty much trying to make everybody, believe in Smallville again, when everybody is losing hope in Smallville. I'm pretty much wanting to give up on Smallville, Clark doesn't want to give up on Smallville, and the fact of it is that, Lois kind of thinks that, the Smallville that he knew is gone. It's, it's turned, due to, what Morgan Edge did to the place, or Tao, and and Leslie Lar, his assistant, aka his second in command, and due to the fact of what the destruction they've done, and the lives they've ruined there, and a lot of people are losing their businesses. A lot of people are wanting to move out of Smallville. The people that can, for instance, Kyle and Lana and Sarah and all the Cushings want to move outside of Smallville to go somewhere else. And, Sarah is, finally together with Jordan, so, she doesn't want to do that. And, she's kind of hoping that no one will buy their house because they put their house up for sale. And, Kyle, applied for a different, fireman job somewhere else, I think 2 hours away from Smallville. And pretty much, but she, before, we understand of, Sarah doesn't think they're going to get their house sold. Sarah doesn't think they're going to move. She's very, optimistic. She thinks, they're going to be staying in Smallville. They just think that, eventually the family, they'll just realize that there's no leaving Smallville. She just assumes that. And, we see Jordan, he's finally, he's got, he's got the life he wants. He's got the girl he really likes. He's got, everything, going really well for him in Smallville. But then we always see that side of, Jonathan, and, he's, doesn't know his place. He doesn't know who his friends are. He doesn't know, he doesn't have that girlfriend. He doesn't know, who he is as a person, and he's trying to, and he doesn't know how he can get his own strength. He might not have super strength and abilities, but he's trying to find his way to get his own strength so he can help out the family. Same as how Jordan wants to help out the family, but Jordan's got powers. So it's Jordan's has the package deal, and Jonathan's where do I stand? Where's my power? Where's my where's my life, where's my happy ending, and he's trying to find out who he is as a person. He's trying to find out who he is. So, through this episode, we see him hanging out with John Henry Irons, in the barn, fixing up the gear. He's commenting on the gear, saying, "Oh, I like the gear, cool, like, it's really cool. Like, who made this, like, this Firefly logo?" And he's like, "Oh, my daughter did." And he's like, "Oh, that's badass. Your daughter helped you make this sick ass, this robot suit or whatever." And he's like, this is not sick, whatever. She ruined her entire childhood was like put at risk due to the fact of everything happened in my time. Like, it wasn't cool at all. And don't you have somewhere else to be? There's nothing else I can teach you. Just leave me alone." Pretty much, he's just annoyed that Jonathan is wanting to, like, in a way, like, he's trying to, like, he thinks that's a good way to step up. But, John Henry's like, no kid should have to be in this position where they're doing that. You should just do kid things, blah, 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 blah. But that's not the life Jonathan has of a normal life. So it's like, John doesn't understand that in a sense, John Henry. So, but I think he learns that, in their life, it's very dangerous. If anything, knowing what happens at the end of this episode, he knows now that, Jonathan needs to learn how to protect himself. So I think he'll get a greater understanding of why, Jonathan wants to spend time with, John Henry, because they were both in the same place of, they were both helpless. They didn't have abilities. They didn't have anything. And either of their time, John on his earth or, Jonathan here, they were both in the same spot. And how his daughter was of that, they're in a place that they do need to defend themselves. And he just doesn't want that for Jonathan, same as how he had that for his daughter. So I understand where he's coming from. But it's cool to, like, see them bond, because I feel like they have so much in common. So it'll be cool to see them bond going forward, especially after what happened at the end of this episode, which I can't wait to get to, because this episode was like the ending was a holy shit moment, and it makes big problems for the finale, which I'm super excited about, like some big issues that are going to be like cool to see if it gets resolved in this last episode of next week, or if it gets resolved in the next season. But so with all that's going on, and the Cushings are debating on leaving and stuff, and Sarah's spending time with Jordan. While they're trying to figure out, where's Talro, where's Morgan Edge, and they end up finding out where he is. He ends up coming down from space, from sucking all the sun up, because he's trying to turn the Earth, or turn the, because he said, like it's ready to, like, rebuild Krypton. So I think they have to, like, do something to, like, the sun to be able to do that, or maybe just sucked up all the sun to make all them stronger, the souls within them. I don't know. I'm thinking that's what he was doing, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Superman gets stronger from the sun, and so do Kryptonians in general. So, like, I guess he had a ton of souls in him, and I guess if he sucked up the sun, it's like they're all sucking up the sun, all the souls. It makes him stronger, which gave him his new, like, abilities by him, merging with the Eradicator. So, going with all that's going on, we see Morgan Edge come down. He ends up breaking out, or like Talro, we see him breaking out Leslie Lar, because Leslie Lar gets captured, but she ends up getting breaking out. But we hear like all this, like, destruction happen of, like, all the soldiers he's killing, and, like, you can tell he's, like, really powerful, and they don't stand a chance, these soldiers. So seeing that was pretty freaking cool, like, to hear all that go down, because it shows that he's a really big threat, and he's become bigger of a threat, like, through the beginning of the season to the end of the season. He's a big threat. Especially because his dad's within him, and we all know his dad turned him into that. Even though Talro had, like, an understanding of there's a different way to do this, his dad always said there's no other way of doing this. So his dad is a really big threat, and his dad's within him in a way, kind of controlling him. So pretty much, we see the moment where Talro and Leslie Lar go to Metropolis. They ended up trashing the place, while Jordan and Sarah Cushing and Jordan, Sarah Cushing, and Jonathan are all at a party after Jonathan after John Henry pretty much dismissed Jonathan. Pretty much Jonathan's like went into a whole like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna be a drunk kid like he expects me to do, and pretty much ends up getting drunk, ends up having a fun time at the party, and ends up being like the rebel in a sense, because he's upset because he feels like no one really like believes that he could step up in a way. So Jordan's like maybe Grandpa's calling, we should probably answer him, there could be something wrong. He never calls because he's trying to pretty much I don't know why, but I always forget. Sam, like, pretty much, Sam is, wanting them to be safe while everything is going down in Metropolis, because he doesn't know if they could be, like, he's trying to protect the family. Essentially, this all was, around him, like, learning that his actions can jeopardize the family. But he's like, in a way, he kind of like couldn't win with Lois in the beginning of the episode. He's like, I can't win with you. Like, one moment you want me to, you don't want me to get any of this information out to the public because it could affect the family. Another moment you want me to do it. Like, I can never win with you. And that was a big problem of Sam in general, is him having the kryptonite locker, him putting the family in jeopardy, all this and that. But he's actually doing the right thing now, trying to make sure everything is fine, everybody's safe. So that's why he's trying to make sure Jonathan and Jordan are safe and they're at home or somewhere safe. That if anything, Edge, aka Taro can't go after the kids, while Superman and John are trying to like fix all the problem, trying to take down Taro and trying to take down Leslie Lar and their minions that they've taken over with the Kryptonian souls. So pretty much while all that's going on, he's like, we should answer. Jordan's like, we should answer, and he's like, Jonathan's like, oh, just leave it alone. I forget what it's called. It's called like I forget what it's called. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's called the what is it called? His like the clicker that like they use to like contact their dad. It's called the I forget what it's called. It's called the it's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know what it's called, and it's gonna annoy the crap out of me. It's called like the I have no clue. I don't know. I don't even know if I could look that up and it'd even give me the answer. Let me try. Superman and Lois. Device. That. I don't even know if it's gonna give me. I forget. I don't even know. But you guys get the drift. It's like the sonic inhibitor that like calls him. So pretty much he's like, I have it. Everything is fine. Just let's just enjoy the party. And while everything is going down in Metropolis, they're trying to take down everybody, trying to round them up for the DOD. They're trying to round them up, while Leslie Lar is like fighting John Henry, and John Henry like doesn't have his hammer, I guess fully like I guess like it's not fully like charged up in a sense, in a way, like for him to use it. So pretty much he has to wait for it to boot up while he's trying to fight off all these other Kryptonian soul minions that Taro has been taking over. And Leslie Lar is pretty much trying to fight him, also trying to like everybody's ganging up on John Henry. And while that's going on, Lois is trying to tell everybody to get out of here, stop, get safe, hide in the buildings, it's not safe out here, Metropolis is under attack, like go run and hide. Pretty much she's like, she asked one of the reporters, I think it's like Jimmy Olsen, if I'm correct, of their world, of their Earth. I don't know. I don't know if this is still connected to whatever. She was talking to somebody that was part of the it might have been also, it could have been, I don't know why I'm blanking, but it could have been, what's his name? What is it? I don't know. But she was talking to somebody saying, oh, well, where's everybody? She's like, oh, she's on the roof trying to get pics of what's going on. So, Lois heads up there, and it's the same sequence. She's like on live broadcasting, and it's the same look of when, she was doing that on John Henry's Earth. And I'm like, oh my God, is this like, are they going to kill Lois right now? Holy crap, but it's not Superman gonna kill her. It's gonna either be Taro or it's gonna be like, I didn't think it was gonna be Leslie Lar in the back of my head, but I was like, oh my God, Leslie Lar is totally the person that is gonna do this, because she always had it out for Lois. So it's like, oh my God, because she ends up leaving, and then John's like, where'd she go? Where's she heading? And then we see her floating up, about to literally laser Lois. He's like, oh my God, is that hammer done? He gets the hammer, throws it. It decks Leslie Lar like Thor's hammer. Is the funniest thing. It looked like Stormbreaker just smacking into her. She ends up flying and I think hitting a building or something, and then it ends up coming back, hitting the minion that he was fighting, and he's like, I never miss. And then he goes up flying, That was a sick sequence because everybody on the news was like, "Holy crap!" And like the news girl was like, "Holy crap!" And then like everybody like was watching the news at the because everybody at the party that Jordan and Jonathan and Sarah and all of his friends were at all like went live on the broadcast of what was going on in Metropolis, and they did like, "Oh my god, holy crap, your mom's a badass, this and that," and that was such a sick sequence to see that go down and see Leslie Lar get what she deserves, and that was just so cool. A cool scene saying like that because it's like in a way it foreshadows like what John Henry wished he could have done for his wife there, and pretty much he said, I won't let what happened to my earth happen to your earth, and I won't let what happened to my wife happen to you here. And pretty much he course corrected what happened on his earth, in a way, on this earth. He lived by his word when he said he wouldn't let anything happen to her and wouldn't let anything happen to her earth. And everything's going well so far. So then after they're done rounding up everybody, they try to go after Taureau because he's just floating there. They try flying at him, but then there's a big force field from the Eradicator and they can't get to him. So what ends up happening is he ends up flying away. They don't know where he went, and it ends up running into the problem of, okay, like, where'd he go? And then next thing you know, where that's going on with that, we see, Sam end up finding out where, Jordan and Jonathan are, ends up getting them out of the place, saying, okay, we have to go home. It's time to go. Like, you guys can't be here. And he wants to get them somewhere safe. So he ends up driving, and this all leads up to the whole point of earlier on, before we get to them leaving the party, Sarah ends up finding out that she is unfortunately moving because Kyle got a job somewhere else. And this is right after Kyle went to go get his gear to pack up to get ready to move to the new fire department. But then one of the girls he hired, said, I was the one that gave you the recommendation over there, saying, you would be perfect over there. I wish you luck over there. And he's like, maybe we shouldn't move. But then that's when he gets the call that the house is getting sold. Actually, there's a buyer, and they're moving to go to that. They got the job offer over at that different department, and they want to continue doing it to go forward with their life. And everything is just getting good for Sarah, and it's like they're finally doing it when everything is getting good for her. It's like, in a way she wanted to leave earlier in the season. She just didn't want to be there. She didn't want to be talking to anybody. But then ever since she found, Jordan, she wants to be there. She's like, I finally have everything I want, and I'm moving. And she's like, I have no other choice but to break up with you. But Jordan doesn't want that. He's like, please don't break up. We could do long distance. And she's like, look how that went for your brother. She's like, one moment he moved, and then his girlfriend dumped him. Like, I don't want that happening to us. I don't want us hating each other. It's just better to do it now or whatever. And he's like, no, it'll work. We can make it work. You really can tell that that's the person for Jordan. He knows that's the one. He wants to be with her. And Sarah knows the same thing. She doesn't want to say let's break up, but she knows that she thinks it's the best, but it's not. So going into everything, that's why she goes to the party and pretty much tells Jordan all that. And then next thing you know, Sam comes in, gets them out of the place, and then next thing you know, Jordan's like, please, can I take Sarah? Can we take Sarah home? And then Sam's like, of course, because Sam's learned to listen to the boys more, care for them more. This and that. So he's like, okay, let's take her home. Let's just leave. So while they're driving, guess what happens? Freaking Tauro literally lands on the car, gets in front of the car, and then they end up decking the car into Tauro, and Tauro doesn't even move. They end up doing the spin move in the car. I was worried, saying, oh my god, could Sarah die in this moment? And that's what makes Jordan want to go off on a hinge, and maybe he'll just end up killing Tauro, or he won't and that's when he'll finally be able to fly and get the strength and do all these things and be stronger in this one moment. Is this when he needs to be stronger? What's gonna happen here? But then I thought to myself, oh my god, this is also a chance of, oh my god, if something happens to Jordan, maybe Jonathan will get his abilities. Oh my god, what's gonna happen here? And then everybody's hurt in the car, and pretty much Sam says, I need somebody to come up here and get this gun out of my glove compartment. I need someone to shoot Tauro with there's a kryptonite bullet in the chamber. There's only one kryptonite bullet, so you only got one shot. And Jonathan's like, I've had some practice with John Henry, and he's like, okay, well, you're gonna have to put it to use. So he said, keep your arm steady, and he's like, fire. And then right as he fires, Tauro leaves, and he's like, where'd he go? Every Sarah's like, where'd he go? And then he lands downside of the car, yanks the car door off, and then he ends up getting Jordan out of the car, ends up grabbing Jordan. I thought he was going to kill Jordan at first. I'm like, oh my god, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? If anything, that would really make, Clark lose his shit. And I thought that's what they wanted for, Clark to do. So maybe, if anything, that there could have been, Zod's soul still maybe in Clark, and maybe that would have been the moment to really make him lose his shit and make Zod be able to take over. But it turns out, Zod's soul could still be in there. I don't know. He still technically could. There's no indication that that soul is gone. So I didn't know what was going to happen. So he ends up saying, Tower ends up taking Jordan, but before they end up leaving, Jordan says, "I love you," and then flies, and his Tower flies off with Jordan. And that was such a heart-wrenching moment because I didn't know what was going to happen. When he said, "I love you," I'm like, oh my god, that's what you wanted to say earlier at the party, but you didn't say it, and you didn't know that was going to be the last time you were going to see her, so you're like, "I love you." And then they end up flying, and just seeing Sarah's face, not knowing what just happened, and then Jonathan's like, "Please go to go run to your dad, go get help. Go get your dad, go get help from your dad, and don't stop, go run home." And then pretty much he says to Sam, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" And he grabs the inhibitor and he pretty much calls, Clark, his dad, Clark, and says, "I help, hurry up." Clark ends up dropping down and says, what happened? He says, he took Jordan. And then he ends up flying. I said, go, I'm fine here. Just go find him, go after him. He just left. He ends up, the CGI in this show is so freaking good. And the cinematography, because when we see Clark fly up, it's such a cool sequence, because we see, we see the sonic boom, we see everything, we see him going really fast, trying to go up there to the edge of the earth, trying to hear everything to find Jordan. And then when we see the moment where Tower ends up landing with Jordan, it's the same place that Clark ends up stopping. I think the meltdown in the first episode, it looks like the same place, like that they stopped the power plant meltdown. So it almost makes it look like, and that's where he and he's like, we don't know what he's going to be doing to Jordan, but then he ends up using the Eradicator and pushing it inside Jordan. I think all the souls, or maybe just, I don't know, I didn't know if it was all the souls or maybe anything. I was like, what is he doing to him? I was like, is he putting all the souls in him and he's just going to be normal now, Tauero, and all the souls will be now into Jordan? What's going to happen? So then at the end of everything, what's going on or whatever, we see, Clark laying back down, but he lands back down where, Lois and John Henry are, and he ends up just, he's in distraught. He's like, oh my god, he's like, because he knows he couldn't find Jordan, and he says, I'm sorry, our son Jordan's gone. He took him, Tower took him, and I couldn't find him. He's like, go find him, and she's like, go find him, and she starts crying and everything, and you see John Henry's face, like, oh my god, I can't believe, in a way I could see him thinking, I can't believe I thought this Superman is bad. I can't believe I thought all these things, but look at this family and everything he's trying to do to protect his family and everything that's going wrong and everything, and look at a different version of my wife, in a sense, crying because her kid is lost and everything, and I feel like he knows he's got to put in work to make sure that can never happen again, because he said he would protect her and her Earth. And I really do think I could see maybe John Henry making a sacrifice in this next episode. I could totally see it in the finale. I don't know. I could see it happening. Honestly, I could see it happening. Honest to God, I know there's going to be some big events happening in this next episode, especially because due to the fact of it is, as after we're done seeing him use the blue light and putting inside Jordan ends up standing up, and we hear Tauro's father speak, and he said, okay, let's rebuild Krypton, and he glows his eyes. I don't know if all the souls are in Jordan or just Tauro's father. I don't know. Or if all the souls are still in Tauro, and then there's the father soul is in Jordan. They didn't really specify on that. I feel like when you put all the blue light in them, maybe that could have been on the souls. I don't know. Either or, that's going to be a big problem for Clark now, because it's due to the fact of it is that how hard will it be for Jordan to overcome that soul of, Tauro's father, like Clark overcame, Zod's soul in Clark. So it makes me wonder, will there be a moment where, how, John Henry pulled, Superman to, overcome Zod's control? Is there going to be a moment where maybe Sarah, talks to Jordan and makes Jordan overcome, Tauro's father's soul? I don't know. All I know is it's going to be very emotional in the next episode. There's going to be some stakes happening, I believe. There's going to be some big finale, I just it's gonna be freaking phenomenal, because there's a lot they need to address in this next episode, which I know they're gonna kill it, if not like end this if not end this plot, maybe extend it to season 2 and maybe big things happening. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm super excited and I loved this episode. I was not prepared to see that happening to Jordan, and to see that much emotion and that much like heart to save Metropolis. You really felt everybody trying their best to save Metropolis, and it was so cool seeing all that go down. It was such a great episode, this episode in general, and I'm just super excited to see the finale next Tuesday and to see what happens. And then also I'm happy this, like, it's a really great Tuesday. You know, it really annoyed me, you know, we had Flash, and then, you know, the only good part of Tuesday was, you know, Superman and Lois, but now we have Stargirl, and then we get Superman and Lois, so, like, we get the 2 best shows on the CW of, like, the DC universe on a Tuesday. We no longer have a crappy show and then a good show. We have 2 great shows, the 2 best superhero shows on the CW. Like, what other awesomeness can I ask for? Like, we literally haven't made on a perfect day for the 2 best shows on the CW. It's so perfect. I'm so happy about it. So I'm so happy to see the finale next week on top of the next episode of Stargirl. I'm just super excited. I'm super excited to hear what you guys thought about this episode of Superman and Lois. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think is going to happen in the finale, and did you guys see that coming where Tal-Rho took Jordan? Did you think Sarah was going to die when the car was flipping? Like, did you think there was going to be a moment where maybe just Jordan, got all the strength together and was able to beat Tal-Rho and overcome him from last time he tried defeating Tal-Rho with his lasers? Maybe he would have actually, hurt Tal-Rho in that moment if, he did hurt Sarah or something? Or did you think maybe when Tal-Rho took Jordan, I was expecting Jonathan's powers maybe to kick into gear and maybe Jonathan went after Tal-Rho or something? I don't know. I feel like Jonathan definitely has powers, and I could see them coming to be in the finale. Maybe something big happens and Jonathan knows he has to do something. Maybe something sparks in him. I don't know. But there's been a lot of moments where it's like, I feel like that should have happened already. So who knows? Either or, I'm super excited for the finale, and I loved this episode. I love all the episodes of Superman and Lois. Each episode gets better and better. My favorite episode still, by far, probably has to be the flashback episode where we see Clark in his old, in his version 1 Superman suit that Martha made him. So, I probably love that episode because it's a flashback and it shows when he first started out, and I'm a sucker for, when Superman first started out as Superman. So, I don't know, it's probably my favorite episode, but I love all the episodes so freaking much. But again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, put in those notifications, like this video. I would love to have you guys here, part of this family here on this channel. We're at 355, almost to 400 subs. So yet again, please subscribe to the channel, put in those notifications, like this video. I would love for you guys to join this family here on this channel. We're growing each and every day. We're making moves. We're striving for greatness. And I would just love for you guys to come in here on this journey with me, following my dreams. Maybe I can, my goal is to inspire people and to inspire people to follow your dreams. Because again, life is short. You were put here on earth for a reason, to do great, amazing things, to follow your dreams, to reach for the stars and to grab those stars and to shine bright. Literally, that was why you guys were put here on earth, is to do great things. So yeah, I would just love for you guys to just come here, join this family, and let's just follow our dreams. Let's just live life. Let's have a great time, and I would love to have you guys here. But without further ado, I'm going to end this video here. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I'll see you guys next Tuesday for Superman and Lois finale. Peace.